Can we please start with your name and where you're from?
Tasia Grace, and I'm here from Everett, born and raised.
And how long have you been out here for?
Off and on for the past 3 years.
Is it pretty difficult for you to find a job right now then to get back on your feet?
I mean, being homeless, it's hard just because of showers and finding a place to sleep every night and having access to electricity to charge your phone, to have an alarm to get up to go to work. There's not a lot of resources out here for single people with no children.
Have you tried using some of the resources that Everett provides then?
I have. I've been in contact with 211 for the past 2 years, and they kicked me off because they can't get a hold of me, even though that I have a cell phone. And I go in there constantly bugging them and doing everything they've asked me to do, but they're short-staffed, and it's like first come, first serve is a priority. And
Is that pretty close by then from where we're at?
So they had me with Catholic Community Services, which is down in North Everett, off of Broadway and Colby, I believe. But yeah, it's just really difficult to get into the resources, and I ended up relapsing after 8 years, and my baby sister got killed 2 years ago on my birthday, and it's just kind of been a downhill.
There.
And
Do you mind if I ask what you ended up relapsing on?
methamphetamines, and when she died, I started using blues and fentanyl. Something that just makes you not have a feel or a thought in the world. It just kind of makes time fly by, and I don't know.
Is that the reason why you ended up just staying in Everett? Is it pretty easy to find around here then?
It's pretty easy to find them anywhere. It's just all about just finding the right people. Unfortunately, it's quite sad how easy they are to find. I relapsed probably 3 months prior, and then COVID hit, and just a bunch of stuff went on in my life that I ended up leaving my job because before my sister passed away, she was supposed to have a kidney transplant, and my job wasn't going to allow me to take FMLA, and I just kind of was like, if you can't have my back, then I need to find a different job, and it just spiraled downhill.
And was your sister on dialysis at the time then?
No, they didn't know exactly what was wrong. And then she got hooked up with the wrong man, and he ended up taking her life over in Butte, Montana.
How are you able to fund your drug use right now?
Just, I have a storage unit with some stuff in it that I sell, and just, people that I hang out with. We just kind of have each other's backs.
Being a female out here, how concerned are you with your safety?
I don't know, it's kind of a 50-50 thing. Just whether you're homeless or not, just as a female, people kind of come and bug you and whatnot. You just have to be strong and kind of aggressive in a sense. Not too many people bug me or harass me. However, I did get a ride from someone that was supposed to take me to my mom's house. She just got diagnosed with cancer, and he ended up taking me to Olympia and leaving me there. But, I'm safe. He stole my stuff, but I know my safety is more important than my things. They can be replaced. So, it's scary.
Yeah.
At times, but for the most part, most of the people that I hang out with, they always watch over me, so.
And then this person that took you to Olympia, how were you able to escape from him?
He actually took me to one of his friend's house and told me that, no, don't worry about it, no one's going to give me a ride home, and I told him, well, I'm going to find a way home. And he goes, yeah, get back in my truck and I'll give you a ride. And I told him I wasn't going to get back in the truck with him. He was psycho. And he's like, I'll show you psycho. And I was like, well, I'm not going to give you that chance. And I ended up trying to get my stuff out of his truck, and he drove off, and one of his friends, actually, it was a very nice gentleman that drove me home over 100 miles to my mom's house. And then my aunt ended up calling the cops for no reason because she hasn't heard from me in 2 months. And she told me my mom was over in Eastern Washington, but come to find out she was actually in the emergency room getting chemotherapy.
Are you able to find that there's trustworthy people around Everett so you can...
Hell no.
There's nothing.
No. I could literally stand anywhere in Everett and walk away from my bag for 2 minutes and people will be in it. I go down to Linwood and I can leave my stuff with someone and know that it's going to be safe for the most part. But people up here just are faulty. It's any way that they can get their next fix, robbing people. Like, literally, I was raised up the road up by Lake Stickney Elementary. I was there until I was 16 years old, and this area has completely done a whole 360. Like, I don't recognize the place. People are constantly robbing people and ripping people off and doing anything they possibly can, and it's like, what happened to the people that are like, can I pull some weeds, can I mow your lawn, like, work for your money? Like, people shouldn't have to do a handout.
Have you seen people like get their stuff stolen or go into stores and steal stuff just to support their drug habit? Or
yeah, I've watched people pickpocket someone that was literally on the ground overdosing. Instead of saving their life, they'd rather pocket all the crap that they have in their pockets, and that's pretty sad. Like, that's pretty low of someone. Like, humanity is all shot out of here. Like, I don't think people know the definition of it anymore. The blues have really taken over, like, their mind and their, like, process. Like, they even don't even have, like, self-respect, and it's like, at least keep your self-respect. Like, just because everything else is shot, like, have decency for yourself. And but yeah, people, like, I know some really good people that have been completely, their lives have been completely taken over by the blues, and all they think about is how to get the next fix, what they can do. They have no morals anymore, and it's like, these are people that I grew up with that would never in a million years would I think that they would ever do something like that. It's one thing to, like, boost from a store, but stealing from people that work hard for their items, or that's a whole nother story. Like, depending on how many you buy and who you get them from, it could be anywhere from like $1 to $5. I mean, a year and a half ago, people were selling them for $5 to $10. Then they have like new ones called what are they called, Medusas, and they're ground down and they're repressed with the Medusa face on them, and they add more fentanyl to them. But what we're seeing is people hitting the fentanyl pill, and they're hitting a fentanyl pocket, and that's why they're overdosing. So it's not like ground down and dispersed evenly throughout the pill.
have you seen anybody OD off of these pills then, and having to use Narcan and whatnot?
So in the past 2.5 weeks, I've witnessed 2 overdoses. I was at Clark Park one day in the gazebo, and a kid was across the park, and you could clearly tell he was turning purple, and the gal that he was with didn't want us to do anything. She was more concerned about trying to get into his pockets, and we got 911 on the phone, and they told us if he was still breathing, which he was just not exhaling, so his lips were turning purple, because it will it relaxes your breathing tubes and stuff. So they said don't give chest compressions, to Narcan him, and just give him breaths so he'll start breathing again. And then 2 days ago, one of my friends got out of jail after 90 days, and he hit the pill 3 times in front of me. We were having a perfect conversation. Next thing you know, his lips were purple, and we were Narcaning him, and luckily I was able to revive him. So, I mean, the first 2 times I've ever actually had to witness it and deal with it, and it was quite scary, but luckily they're both alive.
And how do you feel about the Everett police around here? Like, do you feel like they want to just get rid of you guys around from using it, or push you guys out, or?
I mean, for the most part, you can find some really helpful officers, but there's some officers that are not the best of the best, you know?
Do they make arrests? Have you seen arrests?
Oh, yeah. And I've heard that recently they're trying to pass a law that if someone's caught, like, nodding off, like, falling out, that they will automatically get 90 days in jail.
And at night, are you able to find a place to rest then?
Yeah.
Some sleep?
I mean, for the most part. If not, then I just kind of wander around.
And do the police get on your case about that then, and trying to find just a place to crash?
For the most part, not really. Like, Everett is probably the easiest place, and Edmonds. Linwood, they don't allow you to sleep anywhere, so it's kind of like you have to hide out in different places to do so.
And before you became homeless, was it because, like, you had nowhere else to stay, or did your parents kick you out then, and was there just nothing for you to fall back on, and that's why you ended up?
It's because I don't want to burden my family with my drug use, and I'm big on not asking for help. Like, I was raised, like, don't ask for help, like, to find it myself, and if I want it bad enough, I'll get it. And, you know, that's one of my things. Like, I don't ask people for anything. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to put them out of their comfort zone or feel that they need to help me. You know, they raised me. I'm about to be 34 years old. Like, I got myself into this mess. All they can do pretty much is just be there for me when I'm ready to completely switch my life around. About a year ago, I was using from 15 to 20 pills, and the guy that I was with fractured my eye socket, and I completely left him, and now I'll smoke maybe 5 pills a day, if that. Like, I don't know, some days I just stay sick. I'm just kind of, like, over it. Like, stop!
Did you find that it was taking up all of your money then when you were using 15, 20 pills a day?
Yeah, for the most part, but for the most part, I was trading and stuff.
And do you still have things to sell right now then?
Yeah.
Before you run out completely?
Dude, we're trying to record over here. Knock it off. And then you get rude ass people like that. And people like stealing shit from people when they're asleep. They don't even have the balls to do it while they're awake, and it's quite sad. I'm just trying to make it through and try to get back to the person I used to be. Like, people used to always, like, question me, why are you always so happy? And now it's, like, very hit and miss. I used to smile for no reason.
If you could go back, what would you tell your younger self?
To just push forward, and that what I was dealing with my job, that I can overcome that, and it's just a a change for everyone, and that once everything, the switch changes and we all are able to get through that change, that it will get better and back to normal, and that my life will continue to rise to the fullest instead of spiral all the way back down to past where I was. But I have faith and hopefully one day I'll be able to be a better person than I was when I was working, you know?
Appreciate it, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.